I'm Holly Lambert, and this is More Than Mindfulness with Lifehouse Body and Soul. Today I want to talk to you about how hope can be found in the shadows. Years ago, and even recently, I've experienced turmoil. I found myself and often find myself in the shadows. As I was growing up, I understood that shadows were, I believed that shadows were scary. Shadows created darkness. Darkness was something that I didn't want to be part of, and therefore, for me to say that I had shadows or darkness meant that I was bad. And I recently read a book by a woman named Deborah Ford called The Dark Side of the Light Chasers. And in this book, she is talking about how our divinity and wholeness is the full spectrum of light and dark. And instead of divinity being perfection or the highest light, it's actually wholeness and the full spectrum of light and dark. And this concept was slightly frightening to me when I first heard it, because I didn't feel comfortable with divine beings having darkness. But as I reflected back on my life experiences, I have realized now that when I found myself in the depths of despair, in the shadows that I had never anticipated, that is where I found my higher power. The glimmer of hope, the softness, the comfort, the connection that I had been longing for. All of those things were created and felt while I was in what felt like the darkest time in my life. And that experience challenged me to really understand where I find hope. And do I only find it in the beauty and the light and the places that would appear to be righteous or good? Or can I find hope in the shadows? And it's definitely something that I've had to really open my mind to. I've recently discovered that it's easy for me to identify the good that the shadows can come, that the shadows bring. But to love and accept the shadow itself is difficult for me. I wanted to skip right away into what the shadow provides instead of the shadow itself. And so my hope for you is for you to know that you are accepted in the full spectrum of your light and your shadow, and that a higher power might feel the same way, and that there is enough space, there's enough hope in the shadow that you carry around, that you suppress, that you hide from, and that you push away. And it takes courage for you to be willing to even start to see and accept that the shadow within you exists, and that the shadow of within others exists, and that there's room for both. There's room for the lightest part of you and the darkest part of you, and both of which are creating this magical experience in life. So let's move into a mindfulness exercise. And again, you might just have to close your eyes and settle your breath and settle your body. You might even just notice the muscles that expand as you inhale. And as you exhale, contracting those muscles. And as you close your eyes, you might just notice what's happening in your vision right now, you'll notice that there are maybe little flecks of light and darkness, even with your eyes closed. And notice how they work together to create shapes and images, textures. Notice how if everything was just completely black, you would not see any of the shapes or movement. You might even reflect on places in the world that you might experience darkness. For example, the dark sky or a dark room. Maybe the places where you seek to find the quiet, the sleepy, the rest. And you might just allow yourself to become curious of the starry sky, and curious of the dark room. Maybe even curious about the stillness. And as you experience seeing these things, maybe allow just little flecks of light to start to play and move in the darkness. Perhaps stars in the sky. Maybe a gentle glow coming from the corner of the room. Maybe some gentle movement in the stillness. And just notice how the light and the darkness kind of play off of one another. They support one another. One only exists because of the other. You might even use this time of mindfulness to reflect on how you feel about light and how you feel about darkness. Maybe how the little stars or the soft light in the corner represent hope in the shadow. And when you're ready, coming back into your breath and your body. Perhaps blinking the eyes open. Bringing hands to prayer. I recognize the light and the darkness within you because it is also within me. Together we are united, we are the same, we are one. Namaste.
If you're interested in transforming your life and turning it into a daily practice of discovering the beauty in the world around you and within you, we have a course coming up that will launch in April. We would love to have you join us. You can get on the waiting list now for more information. If you'd like to keep it on your radar, just click on the link below and add your name to our wait list.